welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. And this is kind of our first official Monday morning news of 2023. We had our award episode last week, but that wasn't really a Monday morning news.
No.
This is the first week actually.
We held back. Well, we talked a little news.
A little bit.
Major.
It was hard. We fought it. We fought the urge. We tried to stay on topic. Sometimes that's a little hard for us. But, you know, plenty of talk.
Back to schedule norm.
Yeah, back to the normal. Which, by the way, I said it last week too. If you haven't checked out the award show yet, definitely do. That was a ton of fun. But starting things out, we have Walkabout Mini Golf announced that their DLC is increasing in price.
Mm-hmm.
$1
Yep.
from $2.99 to now $3.99.
Oh.
And I have heard zero negative feedback on it.
We always say like their DLCs are like the cost of a Starbucks large cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $2.99 for what they're giving you is ridiculously low to be. I'm surprised it's not $4.99.
Yeah. So when I heard that news, I was like, worth it. Now it's a coffee with a little tip too. Now you hit the 10% tip button on the coffee.
Yeah, and the way I understand it, it seems like all future ones will be the same price. So it's not like they're going to come out with like a, let's say one of the superhero themed ones, like licensed content or something, and not implying that they are, but it's never going to go up in price. It'll be locked in at the.
Yeah, I mean that's not to say maybe in 3 years now all the DLCs aren't $4.99.
It's funny. I've seen more people say they would pay like $10 for a DLC.
Yeah, but it kind of sounds like what you're saying. It's not like individual DLCs are more price than the others. It's like it seems like they're going for a business model that all the DLCs are the same price.
And they're working on a ton of content. So I think 23 is going to be banging with stuff, coming out from them.
Just based off of our interview, with Edward and that whiteboard, I'd love to see what's on it, just knowing what they have in store. They're working on Atlantis. That's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I think they got I'm personally thinking they have stuff like it's going to be just a continuous flow.
Oh, they probably have like a 2-year roadmap at least planned of DLCs and ideas.
Constant.
Oh,
so no, hats off to them for that. And certainly the extra dollar is going to help them grow even bigger. And it's like, Jesus,
it adds up.
They cherry pick the best of the best anyway. So
they sell 1 million DLCs. That's an extra $1 million.
Yeah. And it's not like it's going on a yacht. So
no,
I mean, and that's
clearly going back into the product.
Correct. So I mean, that's they're just an interesting studio.
Yeah,
who are they going to snatch next?
They even posted, a day or two after the announcement, like, "Oh, we were blown away by the feedback, the positive response to the DLC price increase." And I feel like they were probably stressing in the office, like, "Oh, you think that people are going to be,
get ready for Reddit to blow up?
Yeah, get ready for some hate. Probably all careful, like, all right, it's $1. I think that's a fair amount. Nervous, and everybody's like, psh, yeah, well, still a deal."
And there was a percentage of people who read the news because you couldn't avoid it when it was announced, who probably maybe have never played Walkabout and were like, "Well, that's how much DLCs cost,
right?
Holy shit." I got to get in on this.
We say it all the time too. It's like they drop a DLC, you have the normal course and the hard course, so you're getting 36 holes.
Plus, you're gonna get 18 balls.
Yep, and
if you can find them.
And then the clubs.
Yeah.
So
sometimes little story things to go with. No, and we know that they've got good licensed products coming.
They're good at that business side. Yes. That's a skill. So securing those deals.
Kudos to Mighty Coconut.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the future comes. And hey, even if it was $4.99, if that meant bigger licensed course, Star Wars, whatever, I'm down for it. Increase the price. It's fine. It's still so
Imagine
worth
if they
it.
dropped a Star Wars course this year, knowing it's only going to be.
That's a good way to win DLC of the year for this year too. Them and Golf Plus. We said it during the award show. It's like those are probably going to be the top 2 candidates for that category this year.
They're going to be I mean, if you're into that type of thing, which even if you're not, I'd say still try both, and you're going to find out that, wow, I didn't know that I was into golf as much as I am.
Right. I just find it funny that the 2 games that deliver the most consistent new content to their player bases are golf games.
Golf.
It's between Golf Plus and
Never would have thought
mini golf.
Never would have thought that.
No, and I'm not huge, and I like playing mini golf, and I've enjoyed, playing golf in real life a little bit, but it's not like the number one thing I do or anything. But it's like golf and VR is freaking awesome.
Let's be honest. You don't have to drive. You don't have to pay any money. You don't have to, the cloud comes over your head. It's not like you're screwed.
Yeah, you just go next hole, boom, instant. So yeah, no, so good. So huge props to Mighty Coconut. Actually, I'm glad that the reception was
as if crushing it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I'm just glad that overall it seems like everybody had the same reaction that we did of, all right, totally worth it.
Yeah, still cheaper than I'd probably be charging.
Yeah, and on that note as well, in regards to like upgrades and updating and stuff like that, Meta announced that this year, pretty soon, they're ending the Quest 1, updates coming to it and ending, which this part's a little bitter, but I understand it. They're ending the social features of the Quest 1, meaning if somebody's on a Quest 1, you won't be able to invite them to a party chat.
No, they're basically, it's like they've got a dial to turn something off, not a switch, and they're just slowly cranking it to the left.
Yeah, I understand no more updates. The no more party chat, that one probably stings actually weirdly more than...
I still say in that case, they should allow a trade-in with a sizable enough discount where it's, not like, hey, 10% off if you trade in your Q1. So if they gave 50% off, I mean, people would.
Yeah. But I feel like that they killed the social features because they're probably going to keep expanding on like the visiting home feature.
They just won't work on it anymore.
Yeah. But interesting, I saw Walkabout, since we just talked about them. They made a post saying, hey, I know that there's been the news that the Quest 1's ending the social features, but just so you know, game's still going to run on Quest 1. And because Walkabout has its own in-game party system, just like a lot of games do.
Yeah.
They're like, if you're a Quest 1, you can still join a party with other people inside Walkabout Mini Golf.
Yeah, I think there's a handful that'll still allow that. It's just on the meta end of it. Yes.
So you're not necessarily cut out of all social features inside the games. If the game chooses to support it, it still can happen. It's just exactly what you said on Meta's in-house
party chat,
which we use so much. That's
and that's why it's like if that was my bread and butter was using the Q1. I mean, and I'd probably be a little salty because we do I prefer it because the quality is usually a notch better than some of the in-game.
Weirdly, to me, that was more like of a sting.
Except for Pop 1, they've always crushed it with in-game
voice quality.
My God.
But all other games, it's like, unless it's a game that like Among Us that you want the spatial audio.
Yeah.
The meta
sounds like you're on a cell phone is what it sounds like.
Yeah, in a lot of games, absolutely. And it's weird to me that it felt like that kind of would sting more than just ending app support.
Yeah.
Like example, new games not coming to the Quest 1, that makes sense to me at this point. Like we need Quest 3's coming out this year. We need to advance,
Well, and because it's a sour subject for a lot of people. Anytime there's something taken away from the Quest 1, but it's like as a PC user and owner, like my whole life, always having different PCs, it's like you're buying something that within a year, and it's just a computer, literally within a year, like there's going to be games that are going to come out and your system's going to be like, yeah, you can play it on the lowest resolution and everything drop down, and you're going to be like, well, what the fuck? I spent $1,500 building this computer.
Technology advances fast.
So it amazed, and the same thing even with the iPhone. I mean, I had an iPhone that told me there's no more upgrades for your phone, period. We're not even going to support it if it breaks. I'm like, holy crap.
And I think that they're doing it fair in terms of
timing. You're getting, and how many years has?
It'll be about 3 years in total. And because, Quest 1 came out,
just the way technology is.
And like they're phasing it out as, 2 generations forward is coming out. It's like you have the Quest 1, now the Quest 3 is coming out. It makes sense to end the support. The party chat one, again, to me, weirdly stuck out as
that hurt.
as hurting, but at least for the apps that still will support the Quest 1, you can still use the in-house party for that.
It's not a deal breaker if you're still
and I will argue
upgrading.
I'll argue on the opposite side that it totally makes sense. Like I said, to end the app support, to be like new games don't need to support Quest 1. That makes
sense. So like you got PlayStation, and then PlayStation 3 comes out. You're going to be hurt that they're not making PlayStation 1 games anymore?
Exactly. There's kind of an argument when the next generation first comes out. Like example, when the PS5 first drops, you kind of expect games to still release for the PS4 as well.
Correct.
But at that point in time, there's no expectation of a PlayStation 3 game.
I mean, there's games on my Xbox One I can't play. Won't even let me download it. It's like, no, this can't play on an Xbox One.
Well, funny you bring that up. Just last night, because I'm a big MMA fan. I love the UFC video games.
Yeah.
But back in the heyday, I'll say, from like 2009 to like 2012, maybe sometime, rough date range, maybe 2008. THQ had the licensing for UFC games. They also made the WWE games.
Yeah.
I loved THQ as a kid. They did a bunch of licensed shit. They had
THQ
made like SpongeBob games.
Yeah, THQ is all because they were wicked versatile and
they were license kings.
They were almost, if it had that logo that popped up on the screen, it was generally going to be a decent game.
And you remember how much I used to love the WWE games as a kid?
Mm-hmm.
That
had them all.
That was a yearly Christmas gift. I was like, get me the newest WWE game. I loved them. Here Comes the Pain, Shut Your Mouth, all the...
SmackDown was still the best when that came out for button function of use.
So THQ was the best. And their UFC games, they made 3 UFC games. They made UFC 2009, the first one. Then there was UFC Undisputed 2, and then UFC Undisputed 3, which I maintain the 2 greatest combat sports games ever made, Fight Night Champion and UFC Undisputed 3. But after THQ closed, they sold all their licensing, and EA secured the licensing from THQ for the UFC franchise, for the UFC games. And then since then, UFC has put out 4 games under EA, and they have all been trash with progressively worse career.
Yeah, I was going to say they're like bad stock.
Whereas THQ's UFC Undisputed 3 is the greatest career mode I've ever played for combat sports. It's like I just fired it up last night, made a new guy. Like it is so freaking well done. It's like offline modes, so well done. But because THQ doesn't have licensing anymore and EA has it, do you think you can buy digital copies of this game on like PlayStation Store and anything? The only way you're playing this game is to get the disc version. And thank God I have it because the disc version's like $75 at this point because there's a finite amount. It's slowly, as the disc breaks,
That's
there's
weird.
one less on. Yeah, they've completely nerfed the ability to get it digitally because they want people to buy the EA one. Why would they want to give money to?
I thought I could still get it on Xbox One though. Oh, you know what?
It would be
it's
the
part
EA,
of the EA package.
It's the EA ones. They only let you get the EA ones.
Yeah,
but
because I have the package with them. So yeah, anything that they put up there, and I forgot that they have all 3 of them up there, and I forgot it's EA. Yeah. So I mean, that's one way to work around.
A little off-topic tangent there too, but I don't know. That just kind of came to mind in the flow of conversation there, and damn, I hate when THQ was the best. THQ was the best with those games, but that's kind of a different conversation. Totally understand them phasing out the Quest 1 support, and to me, man, that just means the Quest 3 is probably going to be that much better. They're like, we just can't even
think.
So, in other news, though, this one isn't going to affect my playtime at all, but I guess it's good for the younger crowd. There's a rumor that Roblox could be coming to the Quest later this year.
Yay.
Which I was saying to you, I'm not going to really play it, but
I'll try it.
Some people might say,
probably end up loving it.
Right, that's the way that stuff goes, but people go, oh, that's going to attract squeakers. Now, here's my mentality on it. The squeakers are here. At this point, we got to accept. The squeakers are here.
Give them something to go
Yes, if we can congregate them into a couple apps, let's get them Minecraft too. Let's get them whatever they, let's get them the little
Wasn't
kid
there
game.
the Minecraft rumor too? I thought I heard Minecraft and Fortnite before.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors. What's weird is that there's like a old version of Minecraft, maybe on the Rift or something like that, or maybe the Go. I don't remember, but they haven't released it for the Quest yet, and that's such a moneymaker. It's insane. But yeah, give them those apps so then they'll get out of Pop 1 and stuff. Let them congregate
Get
into
out of Pop 1.
Yeah,
we've played with some little kids who held it together, and I mean the ratio. I'll be honest, it's not like
ageist.
It's not like 90% of the time you're going to get a cool little kid. No, probably maybe 10% of the time. But they're out there. I see your thing though. Give them something.
Yeah, if there's only Pop 1 and other, that's what they're gonna play. But now they got Gorilla Tag. They'll have Roblox.
But they're gonna play whatever. They're gonna play whatever the consensus in their schoolyard is playing, and if it happens to be.
And Gorilla Tag is a proof of that because that game spread like wildfire with little kids on App Lab.
Mhm.
And I joked about that the other week. Like, kids are finding App Lab games, and the only way, it's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Schoolyard talk, baby.
I went on my dad's computer and went through his history, and I saw this weird thing that said App Lab, so I clicked on it. Wasn't what I was really looking for, but
Do you know how many games there are, Billy?
dude, there's hundreds. And the idiot left his credit card like locked in on it. So
Roblox doesn't affect my playtime technically directly, but it might actually make my playtime more enjoyable for other multiplayer games. Because, like I said, my theory is it will snatch the little kids into that app, and then they'll be out of the games that I enjoy.
the beauty of those games and like Minecraft and shit is nobody's ever going to complain about the graphics, because for what it's going to deliver is going to be like a 20 out of 20, because it's exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Exactly. If you go into Minecraft and, you know, I understand if you go, I couldn't play it because like I don't like that type of graphics, but you can't say like, oh, the graphic, like that's the point of the game is to be like that, you know? So, you know, Roblox would be a huge title coming to the Quest, and I bet you it would sell headsets. You know, there's going to be little kids that are big, you know, little 11-year-olds.
Shut up till they get one.
Oh, they got Roblox in VR. It tells me every time I go on the app, you know, whatever. So that would be a huge one. It's still rumored right now, but let's see, you know, what actually comes. So the next piece of news, you know, this was announced a while ago, but now it's actually dropping this week. Makers of classic series you're very familiar with, King's Quest, Ken and Roberta Williams, they're releasing another one of their games, Colossal Cave, remastered in VR. It's very similar to like how Myst was, you know?
Yeah.
And it's releasing this week, January 19th, on the MetaQuest 2. Now, you told me some funny stories with your fiance and King's Quest, how she has like the old school.
Yeah, like the first version, it probably took floppy disks back then or whatever. I think it was all text. But they have like, they drew like what would be the whole map of the, I guess the kingdom or whatever. I can't really even remember the gameplay back then.
Yeah, you can't really go online and download and just print maps.
Not back then, no. You had to literally be like, okay, if you knew there was a wall to the right and left of you, then you would draw the little wall in the, but she still has all the, from that many years ago, has the map. She loved that fucking game.
So for any old school, you know, Colossal Cave or just Ken and Roberta Williams fans, Colossal Cave is dropping this week. That's gonna be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
I'm almost surprised that there's not a Colossal Cave Walkabout Mini Golf DLC dropping too.
Not yet.
Right, just like they did with Myst. Although Myst was out in VR for a while before the Walkabout version came. But no, that's just another big title getting ported over to VR. I never played Colossal Cave or really King's Quest as a kid.
Colossal Cave? No, I've never played that.
But
the original King's Quest, if it's what I'm remembering, I mean, I know my fiance's played it, but back then we used to play so many like different text games.
Yeah, it's easy to lose track.
And I'm literally going to the floppy disk, not even the hard, not even the little 3.5, but this was the big like 6x6 little mini flippy record you'd shove in. Dude, I remember when computers were cassette tapes. Like if you wanted to play something, you put it in a freaking cassette tape thing. And then some people are probably like, what the hell's a cassette tape? And then it had to load into the computer. It would take like 10 minutes, dude, for literally for a black and white shitty ass game to load up.
Pretty much a DOS game.
Yeah.
Like command prompt game, pretty much.
Literally off of a cassette tape. It was the worst.
And now we're in VR.
And we complain.
Right? Hey, but I'm going to say, I'll give that something.
Complain,
that's something I'll give us credit for. I don't think that we're the big negative voices. I don't think we really bitch much. If anything, I think we're grateful of what exists with hardware. Like, oh my God, standalone VR with this quality.
Not thinking I would see this level of it in my lifetime. I have nothing to complain about. It's like even the shittiest graphical games, I still get enjoyment with, because it's like still an experience I could have never had and never thought I'd be able to have, even on a shitty scale like that.
Which onto that, you know, that could kind of lead into the next thing we can kind of give
we're talking about crap.
But why don't we take this moment before we forget? Let's take a quick little sponsor break.
Yeah.
You know, before we get too carried away.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back with you in just a moment with the rest of the news and kind of what we were talking about with shitty graphics. Yeah. But, you know, real quick before we go to the ad, let me hit you with a Dscruffles ad, I guess, where I'll say, you know, if you haven't yet, go into our show notes, go hit, view more, read the whole podcast description or episode description, and go join our Discord and our official subreddit. Discord's popping, baby. We added some more, channels is what they call it, which is like
just different rooms.
Yeah, specific areas to talk about specific topic like movies or music. Cleaned it up. The organization of it's looking real nice. Like I said, a lot of good activity, both in VR discussion and also just some casual discussion. Like I said, music, movies, whatever. So go join that. And in the meantime, we'll be back with you in just a moment. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code Ruff Talk VR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
Today's episode is sponsored by True Classic. Guys, let's get real for a second. Your significant other will be way less upset about your gaming streak if you're looking fine as hell while you play. Finding that perfect fitting t-shirt can be a terrible experience. The thing is either way too tight, has a case of bacon neck, or is just plain big and boxy. Luckily, True Classic makes quality clothing for every guy. Whether you're on VR, PC, Xbox, PS5, or yes, even a Wii, they've made finding that perfect fit easy with their formula. A closer fit in the arms and chest to show off your muscles. We know you're getting a workout while gaming. Let those toned arms shine. Plus, they leave wiggle room in the torso to keep things cozy. All of their styles are super soft, and it's a great price for what you're getting. So guys, no excuses. Don't be a noob. Get rid of those ratty t-shirts I know that you've been hanging on to for years and get ready to upgrade. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. We want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time only, get 20% off with the code RuffTalkVR at trueclassic.com. Almost all men's t-shirts are designed to look good on a certain body type. Think skinny models with six-packs or Dscruffles over here. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few beers, and there's nothing wrong with that. My dudes, it's simple. You are wearing the wrong clothes. True Classics tees taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tighter around the chest and shoulders. You can throw on that True Classic with confidence, knowing they've got your bases covered. True Classic is much more than just a t-shirt company. They have all the menswear staples you could need, from polos and workout shirts with the same flattering fit to boxer briefs that'll keep your boys feeling nice and comfortable. And for any of the big boys out there, they have tall sizing and up to triple XL on all their staple colors. True Classic will make you feel your best by accentuating the places the eye goes to first. Wink, wink. Whether you have abs or a delicious, soft, creamy center, their clothes look great on all body types. Skinny guys, big guys, buff guys, gaming guys, True Classic has you covered. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code word RuffTalkVR. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. 100% risk-free guarantee with a 30-day return policy. True Classic. When you look good, you feel good. Hey everyone, welcome to Fresh Ball Fall. It's the season of pumpkin spice and making sure your crotch looks nice. That means sipping cider in the fall breeze and using Manscaped products to trim your balls with ease. That's right, today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, a company here to make sure that your foliage isn't the only thing shedding its excess leaves. Heck, even Mother Nature knows it's time to lose the excess clutter for fall. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code RuffTalkVR. Whether you're brand new or already with us at Manscaped, you could use the crown jewel of care for your family jewels, the Platinum Package 4.0. With this glorious package, you can align your entire hygiene routine all in one swoop. Inside the 10 Platinum Package is everything you know and love about the Performance Package,
plus some shower goodies included to elevate your grooming game to platinum. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin-safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof, so you can keep scaping even as the weather's change. In addition to shaving, you can now completely upgrade your shower routine with the Ultra Premium Body Wash and Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo plus Conditioner. You'll have your skin and hair feeling hydrated and smelling fresh. Don't forget to apply their aluminum-free Ultra Premium deodorant, and don't worry, it's not pumpkin spice, it's a cologne-quality fragrance. But we shouldn't have a signature scent for our pets. Use Crop Preserver, Ball Deodorant, and Crop Reviver, Ball Toner to make sure your go-to smell is top shelf and not sweaty balls. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts for their Platinum Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and Shed Travel Bag, both specifically made to hold your goodies. Get the Platinum Package this fall. These products are guaranteed to be hits for your dangly bits. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ruff Talk VR. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the code Ruff Talk VR. Manscaped, clear out the leaves. It's your tree trunk's time to shine.
And now that we're back, I'll also say if you haven't yet, too, don't forget to subscribe and rate us 5 stars. That way you get our newest episodes ASAP. And I always love seeing a new 5-star review on whatever platform. It makes my day.
I've never complained about somebody saying, "Hey, that was really good."
Yeah, it's always brings a smile to my face. So
Does not make me angry.
No, I'm not raging, punching holes in my wall about 5-star reviews. I'll tell you that. So right before the ad break, we were saying, even the shittiest of graphics, whatever. So a game, we referenced it last week a bit, Grid Legends, which existed as a flat screen game. It's a racing game made by EA.
Mm-hmm.
It's Stealth popped up on the MetaQuest store, coming soon. And then it dropped last week. Nobody really seemed to have gotten too much early access, too early. And there wasn't really too much information posted about it, no footage, nothing. And then you find out why. When you load in, the game is probably the most comically bad graphics on the MetaQuest store I've seen. And the utilization of VR controls definitely isn't there because, you don't grab the wheel or anything like that. You steer with thumbstick,
mm-hmm.
and you drive with the triggers and brake and reverse, all that. But I'll be honest with you, man, the gameplay loop itself is actually pretty freaking good.
Where I feel baited a little is the size of the game being 31 and a half megs.
You expect...
Or gigs, sorry.
Gigabytes? 31 megs? No, 31 gigs, megs, baby.
Yeah, so just on that, your brain goes, well, if it's that big, it has to be great.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say first off, the amount of video files they're using with real live people, that's got to be at least 30 gigs.
It's the same issue that Medal of Honor had in that regard. Well, but I feel like that's something if it was a game made for VR, they wouldn't have gone the video route with it, but it's just because that's how it is ported.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking. I just want people to know that when you see the 31 gigs,
yeah, it's not because of the graphics.
Know that it's not 31 gigs of game. I'm really guessing that at the high end, probably less than 5.
I was gonna say probably 20 gigs of video, 10 gigs of game.
If I challenge the 10,
you think 25 of video, 5 of game?
I mean, you put the graphics at a PS2, 3-ish level.
No. Whoa. Don't disrespect the PlayStation 2 and
I'm just asking.
That. I'd say it's PlayStation 1.
No, it's better than a PS1. 1,000,000%.
PlayStation 2 had some decent graphics for its time.
You're just thinking of all the enjoyment you had from a PS1 and Dude, how's this? Just the other day I went and looked back at pictures of a ColecoVision game because in my brain it was a great graphically looking game. And I went and actually saw it and was like, oh my God, it's so bad. And my brain didn't even think of it like that.
What was that game called? Not Burnout.
I really in my head.
Was it Twisted Metal? The
Dreamcast?
There was that racing, not racing, but I'm going to look up a picture of Twisted Metal if that was the game.
There was one on the Dreamcast that I thought was amazing. And, by today's standards, it's not so amazing. Twisted Metal was there was numerous games that were like that.
Come on, this is 1995?
Yeah.
This is the first Twisted Metal, so that was definitely PlayStation 1. Okay, it's better than that.
Yeah. So that's why I say it's
definitely not PlayStation 3.
That's why I said 2, 3-ish. Like
PlayStation
it's not 3 level at all. It could in some argumentative cases might be better than 2, but it's a smidge.
Twisted Metal, that was a good series. So yeah, the graphics are sticker shock, I'd say. You know, just based off like when you first go in, if you were expecting good graphics and you saw that, it's gonna hit you. Like going from a 90-degree room to a freezing cold room, you know?
It was and not to just crap on it, the gameplay part of it is great. The race, like they nailed it with the driving.
The gameplay is good.
The driving is damn good.
Even though it's not VR controls, which really
I actually sit in my couch and put my head back, and because you don't even have to move your hands, you just move your thumb and your finger triggers.
It's very stationary.
And they have multiplayer.
Yep, they have multiplayer, and you know, it's when you go in, it kind of starts you into the story mode, where it's like you're a new driver on kind of a failing team, I guess you could say. I don't want to like spoil the story or anything like that, but
when it came out, I'm actually going to try to pull up their current review in real time here.
Oh, I think at one point it dipped to like a 2.8 at least or something like that.
Yeah, last time I checked, it went back up to a 2.9. But it was funny because it came out of the gate at like a 3 something, and people were freaking heated.
Well, I'll say right now, I don't think it's a 2.8. I think it's better than a 2.8 because like the gameplay's fun. It's again where it struggles is the graphics are.
Well, I think with our rating system, it would probably fare better than a 2.8.
Mm-hmm. I agree. When we break it down by category, which we will do a full review of, this is kind of just our early thoughts.
Right now, it's a flat 3.
Flat 3.
So it went up 0.2 in the past couple of days.
Well, I think what a lot of that is people not expecting the graphics to be what they are, and again, that initial reaction is strong. And then you go to grab the wheel. I remember the first time we were playing, you go, "I really can't grab the wheel." And I'm like, I really don't think so. You're like, come on, man. We're both checking in the settings, which I will give them credit for. There's a shit ton of settings in the game for like what you want to appear on your HUD and stuff. Most of it's off by default. So if there's like some stuff that you want to see, like, you know, your placement and everything like that, and you don't see it, pause, go in the settings, and you can add that stuff pretty good.
No, I actually, right now, and granted I'm only in it for like 4 hours probably total, I'm not having a bad time, but I do think people could have taken a nicer approach in the reviews to let people know that they thought. I mean, even us, we were saying crap and poop and shitty
PlayStation
graphics.
1. But the gameplay
but I mean, there's a
itself
reality
is good.
that, you know, my biggest concern with it was going to be the actual driving physics.
When I hear you in party chat go, dude, I'm drifting so well.
Oh yeah, because I mean, if I compare it to like the driving in Thief Sim.
Oh, it's way better.
That had me a little concerned.
For Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. Where this totally took that off the table for Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, you know, oh yeah, this would work perfect. These same exact physics would work perfect.
Yeah, if Grand Theft Auto did the same driving controls and didn't have you grab the wheel.
Rockstar's going to do a little better than EA anyways.
But if they didn't have you grab the wheel and they just had you drive with the stick like you do in this game with Grand Theft Auto, I'd be happy. Based off of the way this feels, yeah.
If the graphics were a little better, I'd say the background graphics are better than the actual
car itself, the side mirrors and the fucking everything.
Well, you see nothing in a rear view if you even have one in the car.
Just
and
a flat.
The side view has no. I mean, I'm sure they're probably pushing it to the max and go, look, this is the best it can. I just don't know. I really don't. I don't know, man.
But graphics aside, like we keep saying though, the game is fun. I was referencing before. They give you like a story mode that they start you in. And then after you do like the first mission of the story mode, it's like, do you want to continue the story mode or go to season mode? So after you're done with the story, then there's like a season mode too.
You can play it at the same time.
Yeah, but I'm kind of a completionist. Like I want to bang out this. Based off of the wording of those, it sounds like the game wants you.
Well, here's the thing,
because it's like new season, new team in the season mode.
This. You have to do pretty much the way we're doing it because you want to earn the cash because you actually have to buy cars.
Oh, in the season mode?
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't popped in the season mode yet. As you can tell, we're not ready for a full review yet. This is just very much our early impressions.
Yeah, this is just what we're figuring out. And because like you, I was sticking to the one side.
Fuck yeah. I
and,
want to bang
like,
out
the
that
career
story mode.
or whatever. And then yeah, so it's like you instantly have to buy a car for your first race. I'm
Okay.
like, huh. For multiplayer, you can. This is unusual
Because there is
If you
multiplayer.
If you don't own the car, it'll loan you the car, quote unquote, but 50% of your winnings go to the car loan peeps.
So backed into
And
the
you get no credit for, like, if you win it, you won't get the XP you need to level up and get more cars and
Okay,
get
that's
more
pretty
access
cool.
to cars so there's a shit ton of stuff to unlock in it.
And then, like you said, there is multiplayer. There's like
Which has been a little weak. I won't lie.
Yeah, I imagine, but that's more. I was not really planning on playing competitively. Multiplayer, I'd probably race you. I suck at racing games. So, example, this game has difficulties. Because I'm doing the story mode right now, it'll be different in season mode. Baby, I want to win. I want to be number 1 in the world in the story mode. I'm playing on easy. I suck at racing games. It's a story. Let me do it. You know, when I do season mode when I'm good at the game, that's a different story.
Well, even easy, it should get a little progressively harder, I would think.
You'd think. I'm not super far in, but so far every race, and this is pretty cool, I've had a different car.
Yeah.
Car style in the story mode.
Because, again,
they're teaching you everything. They're introducing it to you.
Correct, because with each, let's say they got open wheel racing, they got tuned cars, they got the muscle cars, they've got electric cars, they've got the electric car open wheel, they've got trucks, they've even got like a semi tractor trailer type truck, but you gotta pay some big money for that baby. And I think unlock it. What else? They got the drift cars, they've got the minis, and I will make a little argument to the price of the game that if you actually look, and some driving games have done this, they're getting, no. Beyond that, if you look at the bottom of the screen and you look at the sponsor, or not sponsors, but the people that.
The trademarks being used, the licensing and everything.
Yeah, you're seeing real legit car manufacturer names up there, like Ford's up there, and there's some other ones up there. And it's like, that shit's not free. And that's why other games go around it by, Grand Theft Auto does. They don't pay licensing fees because they don't. All their cars are their own.
They're generic versions, but it's also not like it was a $40 game. What was it? I don't want to quote because we're not doing a full review, so I don't need to be 100% accurate. I think it was what, 26 or something like that, 25.
That was on sale.
It was on. We got the pre-order price.
The earlier,
yeah. So it's probably like what, $30 or something.
Yeah, we'll confirm that.
Yeah, I'll look that up actually in just a second. But no, I mean.
So the gameplay's fun. Just the graphics are not.
Potato. They're potato. I was on my second
You're harsh,
mission.
Man.
Well, it's only because if I ever want to laugh, I'll just look at my side view mirror. It was, I think, the second race I was doing. It's not even like my side view mirror was like an oval, like a nice, even, straight line. I had the gray mirror part itself. That's not an actual mirror. It looks just like a horrible asset. And then there was a thick black line around the mirror. It was the most like jagged circle possible. Not straight at all, just constantly up and down.
No, I'm a little disappointed. There's no view in the side view mirror.
Oh,
it's just grayed out.
It didn't really make sense to me. I mean, I get it. Mirrors are just another thing to push it to the limit, but even for being grayed out, I guess as weird as it sounds, it was the quality in of which it was grayed out.
Well, you know where it really shows that it's bad? There's one of the cars you'll do. It's like super low profile to the ground, so your point of view is much lower, and it's pretty bad.
$29.99.
Yeah, so it's a $30 game.
But $40 is the highest price, so it's not like they
so
tried to go
20
there.
of it went to the licensing, and 10 went to the team.
But no, nonetheless, the game's not bad. I guess one more thing real quick to hit them on in terms of like VR integration, besides the lack of VR controls, is the menus itself. It looks like, if you've ever played Green Hell, when they show the cutscenes, this is how the game does the cutscenes in this too, where it's like a screen with a giant black background everywhere else. That's how the menus are in this game as well.
Just like a big TV set.
Exactly. So it's like this flat screen, no immersion in the screen or anything. It's like you're just in a dark black environment and there's a TV screen in front of you as the menu. I guess that's a pretty big thing I got to hit him on. And for like instant lack of immersion, I remember I was laughing pretty hard on that.
It brought up a little concern.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, listen, it's a flat screen. It's not a VR game. It's a flat screen game. You're in first person view. It's the only view you can have. And it's funny because I've seen people ask if they could have like
the third
can I
person.
have the third person view? And I'm like, well, wow, that even makes it even less VR. But it's just to me a flex of okay, we could take an old game and throw it onto the VR and
again, like I went to go do the first time we played, just I wanted to do one race and I ended up doing like 5 races. The game's fun.
oh, I'm gonna keep playing it.
Yeah, but just know what you're getting into with it. You know, it's not gonna
Gameplay's great.
VR integration's
But,
bad and
you know,
graphics
thumbstick
are bad.
movement, trigger movement, or literally trigger movement.
Thumbstick driving. So I guess
I mean, what I do like is you can look to the left and right, and
see peeps.
whereas usually in driving games you have to like click your joystick or do something stupid that technically you shouldn't have to do if you're driving, because if you're focusing on driving and now you're clicking other buttons, so the view changes.
No, it
to
felt
a
more
left.
natural.
Yeah,
It felt very natural.
like flight sims.
Didn't
where
have
you
any
can look
glitches or
around and-
anything either. So
Oh my god, it's cool.
So stay tuned for a full review on that. But just our initial early thoughts on Grid Legends. So,
I wouldn't not buy it. I just
No.
wouldn't buy it unless it was on sale.
No, not in its current graphical state. I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe we finish the season mode and the story mode, and it's our fucking favorite racing game we've ever touched. I don't think it's going to be that direction, but
Well,
let's
right
see.
now it's my favorite racing game in VR.
VR.
So I mean,
Fair. Very fair.
they've as crappy as or not to high standard graphics as we could all complain about. They're literally owning it in the VR racing market for like legit racing like that.
So, on to just 2 more things to discuss today. In the lead up to Martin Luther King Jr. Day, today actually, Meta released last week a MLK documentary.
Correct.
And I haven't checked out yet. I almost did. It was just a super busy week. You told me you almost did too.
I watched the trailer.
You said it's pretty decent length, right?
Yeah,
Based off-
I didn't know how long, so I was like, well, let me open it and see, how long it's going to be.
yeah. Let's see what's
like,
actually going on in here.
It's like an hour and 15 or something.
That's
which
pretty
I was
good for a VR
yeah,
documentary.
I was happy it wasn't going to be like a 20-minute, everything you already knew.
That
type
might
of
be a
thing, so-
multiple sitting watch for me. Like I might bang out 35 minutes and then get back to it. But that's a pretty good length for a VR documentary. I'm excited.
Yeah, I got some goosebumps during one of the one of the scenes in the trailer. It's pretty cool.
Wow,
I'm
if the
excited to-
trailer itself was just
Yeah,
getting you a
man,
little
because
bit-
you got to think of it. It's in VR, so you're already more immersed. Even like the cooking one we watched. It's like you're definitely there. So this is going to be a pretty.
I'm looking real quick to see if. Nope, I was curious because what was the name of the studio who did the cooking one? That
Targo?
Targo. Remember they did Remembering
Targo.
9/11.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see real quick if they
No,
made this
but
one.
I heard they're doing more stuff too.
The people who made this, it was developed by Flight School Studio and published by Time Immersion. Do you think that has any relation to like Time Magazine?
No clue.
No clue. That's I definitely want to check it out though.
Yeah, no, it looks real interesting.
31 ratings right now. It's
I'm definitely
free.
going to watch it. So yeah, that's the other thing. There's no charge.
No, none of these documentaries have been paid yet. No.
Not that I've come across. I think there's a few that are, but not that I've watched.
And I went into VR film like very skeptical.
Yeah.
The first time I watched, I was like, I bought a headset to play games,
I
not
wanna play
watch
games, man.
Yeah, exactly. But every time, man, I get sucked in, I get captured, and I tend to get blown away, whether it's from Madrid Noir to Targo's, cooking series, Goliath, these visual ones always, they capture me more than I think they will. So I'm definitely excited to check this one out.
Yeah, as long as I learn something new with everything I watch, I'm pretty pleased.
Well, don't get me wrong. I totally get why you would have that skeptic viewpoint if you saw 20 minutes. And
Yeah,
you're
if
gonna
it
be
was
like,
15 to 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm not even going to watch this.
Yeah,
because it's
'cause
just going to be a rinse,
we're
wash,
gonna- yeah.
repeat. It's like, I want to feel like I'm part of a movement. I want to have an understanding. And I'm doing this from the perspective of obviously being a white guy. So it's a different, I'm sure like emotionally and physically, it's going to be a different experience for every single person that watches it, because we all come from different places.
Yeah, no, I'm real excited to check it out. So I
So it
guess
is
if,
good.
especially if you got the day off from work, might as well spend an hour and a half of your earned day off due to the man to watch a documentary on him in VR, right?
Right.
So you got the day off because of it. Unfortunately, I'll be at work, sadly, hustling away, but
I'll be working.
I'll find the time to watch it though. I'm definitely intrigued by it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Does look good.
I think the biggest limitation with a lot of these things is like how good the actual cameras are in 2023 with like current hardware, not of the headset, of the VR recording device. But Targo really, again with that cooking series, when they showed those kind of
macro,
the kind of like
the
3D
videography.
imports of the food items, it's like, damn, depending on how.
No, I think that was macro filmed.
Really?
Yeah, they used a super close up to be able to do. That was all like.
Yeah. So it's like the technology's getting there. It's like depending on how this is filmed, and it's like this can be
only
a
gonna
very
get better
immersive.
and better.
I know.
And it's kind of catch-22 also, because like the stuff we're viewing today and we're like, oh my God, that's fantastic. It's like 5 years from now, it's going to look so archaic, almost to like when special effects, you could see strings hanging on like different like spaceships and stuff. Be like, wow, that's pretty low budget.
You know what is something
That the only thing they can do is have to remake something. And then there becomes a point where it's like, it even happens to me. I'll see they remake, even though it makes logical sense. I'm like, really? Again? Really?
Yeah, I imagine the VR film hardware is moving even faster than the VR.
Fuck yeah.
No,
Targo
hardware.
Targo with their 3D flat pictures, like they took a photograph and made it 3-dimensional, and that macro videoing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
It was so tight. But you know what I have noticed about VR film?
The worst part of that was actually the interview parts.
Well, that's because the quality of
It was more of
the
like
camera.
a 360 camera versus a
Mm-hmm.
whatever that just one. But that's a game changer.
Yeah, it's when those 360 cameras are so high quality that's going to be when, because what I've noticed, if there's any bit of pixelization or what looks like compression or like video buffering look while you're watching in VR, which occurs in so many different videos. You can go watch a YouTube video and it might drop in quality or, buffer for a second. But when that happens in a VR video, it breaks your immersion so bad. So it's like when the camera's not, the tightest resolution and you could see maybe a little bit of blur right there for a second, it breaks the immersion. It's like there's such a high standard that it has to be at.
There's only so much that you can do with, especially those 360 cameras.
Yeah.
But you're asking a ton from the technology,
the
right?
standard, the quality standard that people expect, that it's going to take to like capture the masses is so high, but we're getting so close. It's like the day that the 3D cameras are the same quality as those macro, shots, that's the day that,
it's going to be scary.
Oh.
People are going to be wearing a lot of makeup.
Yeah, right, because you can see the detail on it.
Yeah,
so
you'll be able
well.
to see the pore on your face.
So definitely excited to check it out. I don't know if I actually said the name besides that there's a Martin Luther King documentary, but it's called MLK Now Is the Time, in case I didn't say it earlier.
It's right on they're profiling it right now, too, on the store. So,
And then you can obviously find it on the Oculus TV section as well, which is, I really should pop in there and check it out more. Because like I only went in there to watch the Targo one because you had how much you had recommended it, but there was a lot of content in there when I popped in there. And then real quick before we get to our last piece of news, I guess I'll give a quick shout out since he just came back from a walk. Today is actually the podcast Pooch's birthday.
Yep.
Reggie turns 13 today.
Another year around the sun.
Right. little
filled with pooping and having fun.
Well, you'd be like I said, he just came back from a walk. This dog, man, it takes 2 to 3 walks a day minimum.
He looks forward to his podcast time.
Oh yeah. He burst in through the door a second ago. He's like, "What are you doing without me?" Like, bro, you were busy. You had that I want to go on a walk look.
Taking a birthday strut.
Yeah. So nonetheless, just one more piece of news to end things. Not a while ago, it's funny. Sometimes time feels like it goes super fast, but then I'll look at the dates of something and I'll be like, damn, that was 6 months ago? I thought that was...
I'd just say a ways back.
Yes. Yeah, we had interviewed Chris Pruitt, who is the director of the content ecosystem over at Meta. So basically, him and his team are the team that goes, this is getting accepted on the official store. This is, going to App Lab, accepted, denied, requirements, yada, yada. They're in charge of the curation and keeping the store high quality. So it was great insight to talk to Chris and, hear the inner workings of, that really opens us up to like the technical side of like frame rate requirements and stuff like that. But in his spare time, he also seems as if he has a game studio himself called Robot Invader. And they have a series called Dead Secret that had 2 games on the Oculus Go. And when I was Googling it, it looked like it's even on the Nintendo Switch. So there was Dead Secret and then the sequel, Dead Secret Circle. When I went onto the coming soon side of the store last week, I saw Dead Secret Circle is coming to the MetaQuest store. And it looks like it's releasing on, as well, January 19th.
Mm-hmm.
A little bummed they didn't port over the first one because I've never played the series. So I don't know.
It looks like you didn't have to, though.
Yeah, so it seems like it's a psychological horror game, like mystery puzzle type game. It says slow burn psychological thriller on the store page.
Slow burn.
Yep, which makes me think, on the trailer, there's like a guy going down an elevator. Then there's like a little girl face, doll looking face right in the top corner.
Yeah.
But this
looks like it could scare the hell out of you.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely wish I could play the first one in VR, but I'll definitely check this out. And it's going to be real interesting because it's the director of the content ecosystem at Meta, his game studio putting out a game on the official Quest store. You got to think it's going to be optimized beyond the gills.
Mm-hmm. I'm just laughing at it didn't get app labbed.
Are you surprised? Would you app lab yourself?
Right?
Would you app lab yourself?
No, of course not.
And
if I did that ping pong game, I probably would have.
That game just needs to get scrubbed from the store.
It's
We're not
really
talking
bad.
about 11 ping pong either. 11
that's table tennis.
We're talking about that other VR ping pong game.
Look for the lowest rated game on the store.
But in fairness,
App Lab.
yeah, right. In fairness, though, you go on to the Oculus Go store, and it had a decent amount of ratings, had a 4.5 overall. So it's not like
not the worst.
It's not like a new game coming out either, like unestablished. It's a port of a prior, well enjoyed and well received and liked game on their prior stores.
I'm going to say the majority of people probably never played it. So
yeah, here I am
we're
saying
all in the same boat.
Here I am going, where's the first one? I don't want to, just hop in to see. I will, but I wish I could play the first one too.
Well, the second one's going to be better than the first one was graphically and playability wise. It looks scary.
It'd be cool if
looks real scary.
It'd be cool if we could get him on as Chris Pruitt, the game developer.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And then because we've had him on as Chris Pruitt, guy from Meta.
Yeah, it'd
be cool to have him on as Chris Pruitt. Let's get the game developer side. What's it like making games on the fucking headset that you curate?
Probably be easier to get him as Chris Pruitt, the developer, than
probably
the channels of Chris Pruitt.
No, but yeah, like I said, that game drops January 19th.
I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah, Dead Secret Circle. So,
and he's a fan of horror, so
seems like that there's been to start the year these no hype stealth uploaded onto the store. It's coming onto the coming soon. So
I like that better than the
overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
I agree
because sometimes the hype is overhyped.
All I'm saying is this: ever since the start of the year and going forward, now I'm checking that coming soon section of the store once a week.
Ghostbusters coming soon.
It's on the coming soon part.
I think so. Oh. No, it's not in the coming soon.
I was gonna say, it's coming.
It's been coming soon for the past year.
Dude, when you want to go into games that have been announced for 2023,
so it's to me, it's it could come anytime.
And dude, like I keep saying, I mean, at least it's Zuckerberg said it on a podcast, and Zuckerberg told his investors. So to me, that's as good as the gospel that the Quest 3 is coming this year. Now, what that means, could that be December 31st, 2023? That's still the case, but. Besides all of these new games coming, we have the Quest 3 coming this year. I am so freaking excited. I have my credit card ready to go. The day they say pre-order, I'm going to go pre-order that. I'm going to send a message to VR Optician, say, hey, have you guys gotten any headsets to test on? Because I'd like to purchase some lenses for this one because I don't want to go a day with using my glasses on the Quest 3. Then I'm going to go to Kiwi's website, see if they got any accessories yet, and I'm going to have a freaking blast. I'm so excited for the Quest 3 to drop.
No, I'm foaming at the mouth for it, dude.
there's part of me, I need to just stop setting myself up for disappointment and just tell myself it's never going to come out. Because there's part of me that goes, is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas going to be a launch title on the Quest 3? Because it would be smart, right? But I'm just setting myself up for disappointment with that.
Yeah, especially with Rockstar attached to it. So
You just never know.
dude, they could spend 20 years. They don't care. They're making so much bank.
But at least Grid Legends, I have more faith, like you had said earlier, more faith now with the driving in Grand Theft Auto than I did after playing Thief Sim.
Definitely.
We were on record on the show going, oh, I'm nervous about Thief Sim.
And I hope by the time we review Grid Legends, they would have done an update. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's my hope, is that there's an update coming that's going to tighten up some of the graphics.
I don't know if we've ever had a period in our history of doing this podcast where we've been so close to being ready to review so many different games. Like, I don't know, it's nice. We've caught up a little bit. It's nice. Now we just need to actually record.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, so that's cool. And we got some fun stuff dropping this week with finally, again, some interviews. We're starting interview season again, so stay tuned for that. And no game review this week because we got some interviews coming, but stay tuned for what's coming in the coming weeks. Like I said, we got a lot of games ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. Ready to bang them out. And subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Talk soon.